Okay, last time they've shaken the whole Waligth community. This time they're ready to make even bigger mess. 3 men and a baby, ready to entertain you for next 1 hour. Welcome everyone on Waligth Weekly episode 2. My name is Latnox and I'm here with...
Hello guys, I'm Shevingen.
And we've got Mr. Gentleman with us.
Who's very shy.
I'm super shy.
but you are here. That's great.
I'm here this time.
Shevingen, can you tune up your microphone a little bit because we are hearing you very, very low or very quiet.
Well, I maxed out my mic right now, so
Well, okay. We are going to tell you guys what happened during the last week on Waligth. What was the most interesting things? And well, actually, the most interesting things that are happening on Waligth are happening on on our forum. That's why we want to start from introducing the forum news.
yeah, and probably as last week, forum news will be my segment. And so far, I think we should start with basically the same topic we started last time, and last time we started with the other topic. However, the topic evolved a bit because we actually had very interesting developments because several players actually suggested some possible new solutions to the problem of ladder stalling. I'm not sure if it's already up on the stream. The thread, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we should just discuss it briefly between ourselves because we had quite a few ideas. I suggested a very specific idea that could potentially counter the stalling effect, especially in 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2 ladders, where you actually would implement penalty points for your first 15 games. That way, you can actually finish your first 15 games. You can finish first. You can finish games, not necessarily your first 15. However, if, for example, you are stalling your game number 1, chronologically, you will be 150 points would be taken from you. If you are stalling your game number 2, 140 points would be taken, etc., etc. Basically, my initial idea was to just implement chronological sorting so that you have to finish your first 15 games. However, it has many drawbacks, primarily because other players can stall and prevent you from being rated on the ladder if they are stubborn enough. And I thought that penalty points might be a solution. However, I didn't think that we should make it linear, so that every game would be worth the same in penalty points.
But then, well, actually, I think it's hard to tell. Well, it's hard to be mad at someone that he's stalling, or maybe hard to tell that it's wrong when you have your 3 days, for example, to make your move. And so, if someone is taking his 3 days, then can we say that it's against the rules, or when it's against the rules, and when it's just a situation that, well, someone is just thinking, and well, he's taking his time to think.
Objectively, it's not possible to say it. However, in practice, it's kind of it's very easy because there is a certain point in which you are clearly lost. For example, you have I don't know. Your opponent has 4 times your income.
Yeah, exactly.
Strategic one. However, I think that regardless of what happens, if you just naturally play and do not stall, then sooner or later you will finish your first 15 games. However, if you finish 15 games and your games number, I don't know, 4, 6, and 7 are not finished yet, however, you finished your games number 8, 9, and all the way up to 15, it's very, very likely that you are already stalling. And again, if you really don't want to stall, you want to play the ladder, you just play the ladder, and if you finish all your first 15 games, if you finish your first 15 games, you you just don't have any penalty points and can easily compete for first place. But that was only one of the ideas mentioned in the thread. But one of the most recent ideas was suggested by Gui, or Quick Key right now. He actually suggested that we should allow to play 5 games at a time for all the players, and he suggested that we could start by forcing people to play 2 games at a time. Then we would allow them, after they have 5 unexpired games, to play 3, etc., etc. It is very tricky. First of all, it's not that easy to implement because of your potential unexpired games that are about to expire. For example, if you have, I don't know, your last 15 games, you can actually start by playing 5 games at a time and just wait for your losses to expire, and then you can again stall like you did before, if you time it correctly, of course.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy. I think that both ideas could be easily combined. There are again other ideas like again chronological sorting, which I think is really flawed. Um, I suggested just not allowing games to expire. That's probably the easiest long-term solution. Or even combine all of those ideas together. I don't think that they cancel out each other. So, what are your thoughts on those possible solutions, guys?
Well, I think this limiting your time, or maybe giving penalty points when you are stalling some games when the other are finished, that might be interesting, but then it requires some strict rules or clear rules that no one won't be surprised that he suddenly got some penalty points despite he was just thinking longer on certain game. But but I think that
it's only a temporary solution, because once you finish your first 15 games, you don't have any penalty points. And with and actually, if for example, you are taking your time with game number 15, you lose only 10 points, which is hardly anything.
oh, okay, that might
that's
work
exactly
then.
why, yeah, that's exactly why I suggested that kind of composite solution with decreasing penalty points over time.
Yeah, I think that it would work even better if you will combine it with true skill ratio, and if your points from other wouldn't expired, that would work even better.
Yeah, only true skill has the advantage of non-expired games, so we don't have the problem there.
Yeah?
I would have to agree with the true skill. I think that's really one of the better solutions. I mean, going over these different, like, how do we prevent stalling, you're incorporating more rules into the game that can kind of take away from it, like the penalty points. Well, it's a great idea. You can set some players that might not be as good back quite a bit by having penalty points versus skilled players like yourself who can easily get past the penalty point barrier. So, I mean, there are some issues with that, but, I mean, stalling is the bigger issue, so it's kind of pick your poison, really, I think.
Well, yeah, but I actually, as I said before, I'm all about non-expiring games and just standard Elo. However, when I suggested it initially, Peter actually said that there was a community vote and he actually asked if the community wants non-expiring games, etc. And actually, community wanted the old system. They actually wanted that expiring system. It has its advantages because you can monitor your progress maybe more quickly, and you can actually have repeated tries for plays with so-called runs. Uh, I don't think it's good for the competitive side. However, if the community wants it, I believe that we have solutions not to change the core of the system right now, but to prevent stalling from being such an issue. And we'll definitely go into more detail once we go to other news.
Okay, we've got also some other interesting topics from the ladder. I think yeah, we discussed this topic even on the previous time, and this problem is well known to all Waligth community. So all we can hope for is that Fizzer will eventually do something with it. Okay, so what other news from the ladder would like to talk about, guys?
From the forum, I think.
From the forum, sorry, yeah.
Well, I wanted to advertise Piggy's threads.
Okay.
To both of them. And I wanted to advertise them because they are still in their infancy. Because Piggy has a very good idea for the threads. He's actually taking one of the top players in the game, and he's trying to find their old games, primarily from the ladder, and he tries to analyze them through his perspective. I don't completely agree with his particular analysis of a few games, but still, it's the place where you can actually voice your opinions or analysis on certain games. And I think that if the community actually tries, such an analysis will be very beneficial for both sides here.
I like his "Are you sitting comfortably?" thread. Who was the one who said the audience said that he loved his metaphor, sitting comfortably, have a safe pick. So if you are reading this thread, keep in mind this comparison. So it's even interesting in the very title. Are you sitting comfortably? Do you have your safe pick? And yeah, I read this analysis and I liked them also very much.
Well, I actually didn't like the analysis as much, to be honest. I actually like the idea for it more because I simply don't agree with some particular analysis which you can actually read. There is much more to the way that was written right there.
Yeah, but it's hard to cover every detail in just one paragraph that he spent for each game.
That's why I said that those threads are still in their infancy, and if the community wants, they actually could try and expand upon them. So I wanted to advertise those. And probably the last thing I wanted to advertise is my new invitational, and I sent you a link to the thread.
Yeah, it's open already.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the players. I don't have a very, I would say, I don't know, modern or new invite list, so I might have missed a few people. Some people might be interested in joining. I'm making very competitive round robin invitationals, and number 5 will be 1 versus 1 on Poland. And as I said before, Poland, in some threads, Poland is a very polarizing map. Some people love it, some people hate it. I definitely recommend at least trying that 1 versus 1 because it will give you a very fresh perspective on 1 versus 1 game, in my opinion, if you are constantly playing strategic 1 versus 1 games, etc. And that's pretty much it.
But will it be this big Poland map, right? Because there's also a small Poland map. But we are talking about the big Poland.
The only good Poland map. Yeah, that's only one good Poland. Right?
Many people don't like it because it have really strange bonuses. Like
it's very unique. It has very strange bonuses. However, you can't really get them as efficiently as on other maps because they are the bonuses themselves are not as clustered.
Yeah, but well, that depends what the one likes. I've played in your Invitational #1 tournament, and I think I liked it, but currently,
I haven't even really.
yeah, but currently I don't have time. I'm trying to reduce my number of games, so I'm not joining any tournaments now. Okay, from other forum news, we've got.
There's the did you see the Hode's thread about the random move order?
Yeah.
And possibly having an additional change to that?
Well, actually, I
Yeah.
haven't even opened right now.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting idea. I, I don't particularly see how it would majorly change the gameplay. Frankly, I am not such a big fan of cyclic turn order, cyclic move order, sorry, and that's mostly because of how you can attack the enemy. Because with random move order, both offense and defense is more convoluted, and you have more options open. With cyclic move order, you very quickly realize who has the first order, and you will have to base your optimal strategy to attack your opponent's bonuses upon the cyclic move order. So you will have to.
Well, if
utilize
you
the-
scroll down a bit in the thread, they kind of get into that a little bit, but they also discuss modifying a random move order so that you can't chain, like, say, 3, 4, 5, or 6 first turns in a row. However unlikely it is, it happens, and that can definitely alter a game negatively.
Yeah, definitely. I
So
remember
there's
I lost a game against guy who triple picked, and I have just a counter pick. But because he was completely new, but because he had the first move like 3 or 4 times in a row, I just couldn't break through, and he was smashing my territory all the time.
That happens sometimes. I again remember that I once used an alternate account that just started playing open games, and after 30 wins in a row, I just had someone triple picking. I think it was Central Russia, with me in Scandinavia countering Caucasus and both Russias at the same time, and he actually used 4 or 5 orders in a row, the first orders in a row, and he managed to eliminate me from there. So, yeah, it definitely happens sometimes. It is an interesting idea. I'd be open to that. However, I don't think it would change that much.
Yeah, I see. Well, I think that yeah, if you would exclude things like 4 moves in a row, for example, after 2 or 3 moves, the next move should be by the next player. That would be much fairer.
Well, maybe. I was always quite okay with random move order.
Well, yeah, no, actually, I like random move order because, or you know what would be good if after next turn you have a lower possibility to have your first move. Each time you get your first move, the next time the possibility is lower. So, for example, in the first round it's 50%. Next time you have 30% to get your first move. Next time 30%, and so on and so forth. I think that would be great.
I believe, and yeah, that's a very interesting idea. I don't think it would be completely game changing.
No, well, probably it wouldn't be even applied into the game, but I think that would balance the game a little better.
Yeah, that's a very interesting idea. I would be definitely open to games with something like that.
Okay. What else do we have?
From the forum, I believe we are done.
We are done.
I just want to talk about that you want to comment much.
Well, no, actually, I left the forum, the whole forum for you, so you can pick which subjects you want to talk about. If you
No, I think we should be done for.
Okay. Sure.
There's some mention of trash talking. Did you guys want to discuss some trash talking that's going on the forums, maybe?
Well, actually, if you want trash talk, actually, we can go to the last uh, quiz thread, which was about mid-time ladder ratings, and we're going to have some trash talk right there. And it was I was actually well, I wasn't really waiting for it, but I was quite confident that it will pop up sooner or later. Uh, and we have it yet again when he
Oh,
actually
just 1 second.
actually last time he did that he made much more sense because last time he was accusing me of being lucky, which I was at the moment. Now the arguments he used are very interesting because he started analyzing the real-time ladder uh, players, and not all of them are listed on the real-time ladder page. However, he made a very short assumption about win rates, and for some reason he was actually very surprised that win rate isn't the crucial aspect of an elo-based ladder. And funny enough, I was actually accused by both Gree and Piggy that I was actually cheating rather because I was playing all the good players, which in itself sounds and is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, actually it is.
Jeez,
No,
you're
I'm
just cheating the system because you keep trying to put on the tough opponents, huh?
yeah. No, seriously. I actually right after the thread was up, I was actually talking a lot more about it with that Piggy, and I was trying to convince him that that's the exact point of the ELO system. That playing stronger players doesn't give me some sort of competitive advantage in itself. It's just harder, and I get more points for that. So and that's it.
Yeah.
And I did not manage to convince him. So apparently, playing good players is considered cheating right now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was afraid that someone will call me that I am a cheater because I've played only bad players on real-time ladder. and, and I think that was more like a cheating because it's. I mean, I didn't do it by purpose, but it was.
Well, yeah,
It looks like I was going for easy points. Yeah.
Yeah, real-time ladder maybe has its flaws, but definitely it's the best ladder right now. And for example, right now I don't have really motivation to play many games. So mostly I play one game per 3 days, and I can very easily imagine that if I played worse players right now with one game per 3 days, most players would say that I am cheating because I'm right now first, and I'm playing bad players just to sustain my rating.
Yeah, exactly.
For as long as I can stay. So
That created a paradox, kind of.
in a way, I cannot play good players or bad players because I'll be cheating anyway. That's the conclusion. I think.
You know what? I think that was a suggestion that you should finally leave the real-time ladder and make place for others.
Yeah, I think if I did, then probably they will accuse me of cheating. So.
Yeah, probably. Okay, guys. I think we should move to next thing we would like to talk about. Maybe actually we would like to analyze a game.
Okay, so
Let's do it!
Yeah.
Yeah, we should go. We will do ladder news simultaneously, and we're going to start with one versus one ladder, and actually some major changes in one versus one ladder because Zakatron managed to win a game by brute, and he actually overtook the Great Consus for 1 or 2 days. After that, he surrendered in all the games, or most of the games he was stalling at the time. And after that, from nowhere, we have another 15-0 record player, Angry Beavers, who I guess is an alternate account, quite obviously. I don't know who it is, so maybe we can have some guesses
Yeah.
on the TV chat.
Actually,
Unless you guys know.
no, I have no idea, but I'm so pissed off because of it. I finally managed to beat Zekatron. He started to surrender his games. I almost convinced Pulsius to leave the ladder. So the Dead Piggy was the only one I need to jump off in ladder, and
Yeah.
then again someone had to pop up on the
Yeah,
first
but
place.
but that's where it gets interesting, because apparently he is not stalling. So he actually got his 15-0 run legit.
Yeah.
At least that's what I saw. I think he finished the first 15 games, so I think his rating is legit right now. He got, I believe he got very lucky in a few games, particularly in a game against Boston. Well, it's not that he got very lucky because he lost one first order, but after that he was completely lost with 5 versus 9 income, and Boston managed to screw the game up right away. But I actually wanted to analyze the game against Dreamwalker,
Okay.
which is particularly interesting, and I really don't think that I will easily predict that Angry Beavers will drop down significantly, just based on his picks in that game. I'm not sure if the game is up right now.
It's just loading.
Okay, so let's just move. Let's look at Angry Beavers' picks, and I want to make just a very quick point here.
Okay.
Okay, if we have it loaded, he uses a plan to counter Southeast Asia first turn bonus, which is fine, I guess. However, how he does it really baffles me, because I don't think that any top player or any very good player would pick like that, for several reasons. First, he can lose his pick number 2, and if he loses his pick number 2, if he gets his 1-3-4 or 1-3-5, if he gets his 1-3-5, for example, it's over before it begins. That's the first major point. The second major point is that even if you want something like a counter like that, you don't want your first pick to be in Central Russia.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you pick like that, it's very likely you get your picks 1 and 5, and you will get completely destroyed.
Well,
And we can just
I think it was a gamble, because that's exactly what he was expecting his enemy to think. If I would be Dreamworker, I would never expect him to counter first turn bonus and be in Central Russia at the same time. So it was a great gamble, but in the same time,
Well, I don't think it was a great gamble, because if you gamble something, you risk to lose something. But more often than not, if you gamble, you want to gain something, and you don't gain anything in particular by having Central Russia, except the fact that you expose yourself to a possible Caucasus counter. So Scandinavia made much more sense, because it's very safe, and you need a very quick bonus if you will counter your opponent in Southeast Asia. So we
Could
can
it be
very
possible
quickly.
that there is something to gain, though? The idea that no one would think to go there, so, Dreamworker's busy looking for where his other spots are, maybe thinking Scandinavia and trying to
But
counter
you know what?
that, or something along those
The problem
lines.
is that in every single scenario, he will go into Caucasus because he will want to finish that bonus at some point.
yeah. So
There's
it's
absolutely no scenario in which he doesn't check Russia. So that's exactly why it baffles me so much, because he gambles, but he doesn't stand to gain anything. So that's a pretty sucky gamble, in my opinion.
okay. So do we want to see how this game turned out?
Yeah, well, very quickly, he did win it in the end.
Okay.
We have Dreamworker missing first turn bonus, which was unlucky, but it's 50%. So
Dreamworker didn't deploy it full in Southeast Asia to get his
yeah,
first
well,
turn
to
bonus.
defend South America. So I definitely understand why he did that. On the second turn, Angry Beavers actually clears South America, and after turn 2, it is very unclear how the game will end, because there is a lot of possible future expansion in Africa. So long term, Angry Beavers should win. However, However, Dreamworker has a really huge income advantage, so he has the dynamics are going for.
Yeah,
And we have a very interesting move in East China also.
he actually
blockading-
blocked Xia Jing.
Yeah,
Sorry, Jiangxi.
that's actually that's actually a very good move. That's actually a very good move because he anticipates to Dreamworker to hit East China fall,
Uh-huh.
and while he expands in South America, he will use Central Russia as a counter.
Exactly. So,
Uh,
so maybe that's why he picked Central Russia as one. He was expecting to situation like this occur, and then he could block
The problem is
Shang-Chi.
that if we go to turn 4, we can easily see that this strategy doesn't really work. Angry Beavers has some bad luck with South America, and the Dreamworker has actually makes a very bold move and tries to break through the blockade. I think it was the right move. I think also he could have used 4 more armies in East China, so he would get a bit better net income on the blockade. And we see that even with the 8 versus 5, they have those reinforcement cards, but still he's fighting right now 9 versus 8 income, and he has a stack disadvantage, and he just runs around a bit. I'm not sure where are we on the stream.
7 turn. Well, Dreamwalker now have finished East China. Well, yeah, I think that was the only reasonable thing that he could do with his stack to
definitely.
destroy the
And
blockade.
right now, and right now it seems like Angry Beavers should have a long-term advantage, but it's not so easy because he has to be very careful not to be eliminated from
Yeah,
Asia.
and
He probably should build a huge stack while finishing Antarctica. And we have a very weird move on turn 8, where actually Dreamworker tries to get the whole central Russia right now. Yeah, it was definitely too bold of a move, so to speak. And turn 9 is I don't know, a question mark for me completely.
yeah, I don't know how this game could finish so fast. Yeah, Dreamworker definitely screwed up the game. He could have done much better, but then, oh man, what did he do? How did he lose this bonus? He just could sit on his bloody ass and do nothing.
Yeah.
And he would hold Southeast Asia and maybe even hold the Russia, and still, even with positional disadvantage, he would have big income advantage and stack advantage. So,
Yeah,
man,
and
that's funny.
definitely with that very nice wasteland position in West China, I think that the game was still salvageable for Dreamworker at any stage. However, well, Angry Beavers won. I actually I saw some interesting moves, and I saw some particularly weird moves by Angry Beavers, and that's why I would expect him to lose a few games. However, well, he's actually since Dead Piggy dropped to 3rd place, he's actually the first one to be in 1st place and not stall any games. So props to him.
Yeah, that's a plus. But then he didn't actually play the very good or top players. He didn't. Now he's playing Death Piggy. I'm wondering what will be the result of this game.
Actually, Mr. Miyagi actually said that he's stalling a game versus El Diablo.
Ah, okay. And Diablo has rating 1,600.
So maybe he stalled one game. Okay, so it's not completely terrible. So if he surrenders in that game, he's still in 1st place probably.
It's one game. I think one game stalling, you can get a bit of a pass there. It's not like atrocious, like stalling 4 games and.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I still don't want to participate in one versus another. Well, anyway, I would expect him to drop down, and I would expect that Piggy to have his 1st place very soon. yeah, that's all I have on 1 versus 1 ladder.
Okay.
Season ladder, you have to mention that I think Fizer is probably preoccupied with his family business right now. He has a lot of stuff going on, so I guess he will announce in the next week what the new template for season will be, and we might have a few of our guesses maybe. I was actually discussing that with new phone a while ago, and I actually thought that maybe strategic Greece will be picked. Not only because it was included on real-time ladder, but also because last time the template were voted in, we Roma won, and in the second place we had strategic Greece. So that's my best guess.
So that would mean that Fizer will again go lazy and let the players to choose what they want to for the next season ladder.
I don't want to call it lazy. I would say it's actually a good change because there were some atrocious seasonal ladder templates. So far, we had a free for all for 4 players. We had an auto distribution template, and wow.
Yeah, well, okay. Maybe giving the players what they want is also a good idea, but I actually like the fact that he was choosing those templates. They were really interesting. They were, how to say it? Well, something that you don't play normally, right? So, yeah, I like his idea also. He was the one who advertised local deployment on the great scale, because before season it was 9, I guess, where there was a local deployment, there was not many players or not many games with local deployment, and since the season started, well, local deployment started to be more popular.
Well, but probably the only effect or the bigger effect was that before not many players knew or hated local deployment, and after the season ladder, most players hated local deployment, especially after the Turkey season.
Well, I like Turkey. It was
really,
fun.
you like
Turkey
local deployment?
Yeah, I liked
it. That's an atrocious template. I mean, really, this one is atrocious. The mediumer is kind of salvageable, but
the medium that was one of the worst templates. Each game took like 30 turns. It was very hard to win fast, and oh man, that was one of the hardest.
Yeah, but from a competitive standpoint, I think it's significantly better than Turkey. I think that the Turkey is actually a competitive equivalent of a dual map. To be honest.
Yeah, I know the one where you are pirate or
yeah.
It's not that bad. It's just a small map, so there's limited strategy, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, but on local deployment on Turkey, you probably have at most 2 strategies that are viable, 2 sets of picks, and it's incredibly first order and first pick sensitive, and on many different distributions.
Okay.
I don't know. I've had some pretty good success counter picking on that map. I mean, that is my bread and butter for real-time ladder. That's probably the only reason I'm still in the top 20, honestly, is because of Turkey local deployment.
Well,
okay, it's not as terrible as dual. I didn't want to suggest that. I exaggerated here, but still, there is too much emphasis on micromanagement and first order. I don't think that you can really reduce the lag factor on that map.
Okay, I see your point there. Okay, I've got some events that are actually going on currently on Waligth, and I would like to tell something about them. So first thing is the Waligth Tower event. I guess you guys probably read about it on forum. It's the idea introduced by Mark. The idea is that there is a tower. Currently, there are 3 floors of this tower, and on each floor there are some soldiers represented by players and the floor boss. And in order to beat each level of the tower, you need to defeat all the soldiers and the boss. And each level, well, of course, to defeat the players, you need to win the game against them. And each level contains a different template. On the first level, we've got strategic Turkey. With a second floor or level is ancient China, and the third is strategic 1v1 medium Earth. Right now we have Summer, who is challenging the tower. Well, the soldiers are quite good players. For example, the weakest floor is Ineffable, Dreamworker, Chris CMU as the soldiers, and Mark as as a level boss. The third level, for example, there is Swing Potato, Noob. Who's Noob? I don't know.
I think it's Noob School.
Noob School. Okay, and that Piggy as a boss. So yeah, quite hard players. I just prepared one exemplary game, Summer versus Dreamworker, the one that she lost. Also, if you lose a game on a certain level, you are starting the whole level from the beginning. So generally, this event is prepared for the top players to be beaten. Well,
Basically, you have to win four games in a row, right?
yeah, you need to win 4 games in a row to beat the level, and you can lose only 3 times in the whole attempt to beat the tower. So each one loss for each level, or something like this. I can link the game in the forum. I guess I can, at least I can try, because my browser just froze for a second. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. That's not funny. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'll just say something more. Okay. The browser has defrosted. Okay, so let me post the link to the game on. I can't even. I don't know why I can't access the Twitch chat. So I will link you on a Skype, and if you guys can post it on the forum.
Okay.
Sorry for some technical problems. I don't know. I think I need to make some real cleaning on my computer. Well, anyway, like you said, strategic Turkey. It's not a local deployment, but those are the same settings. 0% straight round, and I think it's cycle move order. So, yeah. So
I think my original had random move order, but
let's see. Move order random, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, those are basically 1 or 2 strategies. You want to pick +2s to get +4 in the first round, or triple click +4 to get a +4 in the first round. So Summer, I think she made a mistake by trying to get +5 in 2 turns. Well, yeah, +5 is nice, but then you need 2 turns to get it, and in the first turn you don't have any bonus. You have disadvantage on the very beginning. So yeah, Dreamworker got 8 income after the first turn. She got only 4. After the second turn it was more or less the same, but still Dreamworker had the advantage, and then well, he used this advantage. There was some nice play, and actually the whole game
I
took...
think that this strategy might be good only if Eastern and Mediterranean region would be wastelanded here. Because the fact that you can actually get that region, the +4, makes it just too easy for Dreamworker to get some decent income advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in this case, as we can see, she just lost it. That was an maybe the one move that I liked by Dreamworker. it was in turn 6. How he removed her from Isparta, from the middle of her territories, because that's the advantage of 0%, or the feature of 0% that you want to use. You first attack the territory with 1, then again with 1, and then he made the final hit with the stack. So that's how you want to get rid of your enemy, by weakening the territory, attacks of 1. So that this move I liked. And then of course it was not much she could do because her +5 was endangered. And yeah. So
Which is always the problem of picking the +5s, is you lose that and your game's done, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So at this moment, Summer is struggling to stay on this event, to maybe finish the tower. She still have a chance because that's the only loss she made since now. And the other challenger of the tower is the Hey Hugh Hey. So I'd like to see how far he can go. Maybe he will be able to beat the tower. He's one of the best Warlight players. Well, despite recently, I think he suffers some form loss. Have you guys played recently with Hey Hugh Hey, by the way?
Not recently, actually. I don't think he plays real-time games. He used to play a lot of 3 vs 3 Europe. Now I don't think I have played with him in. I really don't remember last time I played with him.
Yeah. Well, I played him in ladder, and he was rating he had rating like 1,700. I won with him, and I won with him in the tournament. So I guess he's for some form loss in recently. I don't know. Hey, I hope you will get back to your form and kick some asses and show us some nice strategies.
Well, I think that maybe he always had small problems with the picking stage and some very specific micromanagement issues. And those things are probably right now more important than ever, at least on one versus one other. His main strength was always a very good understanding of general strategic play, and he had a really good middle game on team games.
Yeah.
Once he got his income, he actually was almost unstoppable.
Okay, I see. Okay, there are also there are also another events that I would like to introduce to you guys. The Eagle Beast started or wants to start a Fantasy Warlight, F-Light as he called it. Well, it's an idea that there's a player who have a team of other players, and he is using these players as he wishes. I mean, he is putting them to a games against other, I don't know how to call it, manager players, right? So I don't know. It brings to my mind the Pokemon game, or the Pokemon, the Pokemon cartoon, when there is this Pokemon master and he has his Pokemons, and right now you'll be saying that well, there's not so much players as he would like to. He mailed me that he would like to have more than 3 owners, and he need about 40 more players. So the owners could choose from the bracket of players who they want in their team. Well, I think the Eagle Beast made some bad advertisement for him when he rejected the good kid because he didn't consider him as a good player. I hope that you will improve yourself, Eagle Beast, on this Eagle Blast, sorry, and you will allow all the players to participate, despite if they are good players or not, because it just it's make the game even more interesting if you need to choose from the good and the bad players. So probably you won't have all the good players in your team.
Yeah, but well, we had something like that. I think we had a try at manager league that was invited by my hand, and it was even more convoluted because we had the players, we had salaries, we had budgets, and we had prizes for wins. So it was a kind of something that would simulate a real life Warlight league of some sort. Clubs, etc.
Ineffable was hosting the Manager League, and from what I read, from what I understand, that was supposed to be something similar to this. But now he said that he's not able to continue it anymore, and he will happy to join to this Warlight Fantasy as a player. So yeah, I think this thread might be interesting. We are waiting for another players. If you guys want to play some games, some role-play games actually, then feel free to ask Eagle Blast and join his event. And maybe a few words about Clan Battle by Chris CMU. Sorry, now I have opened the list of the players from this Fantasy Warlight event. So we've got only 40 players. You can see it. But I would like to say about Clan Battle by Chris CMU. Well, actually, it's over. I will display the map. This time I prepared a screenshot, so my browser won't crash. This Google spreadsheet was really terrible. It crashed not only on my computer but also on other computers. So as we can see, WG actually dominated the top right corner of the map, and that was a good strategy because they had their places quite safe. They could be attacked by only a few clans with this strategy. For example, the WM, we were all over the map. We had our territories very shattered, and we were being attacked almost all the time. We had to defend hard, and we made some mistakes, or maybe we forgot. Okay, we forgot to make challenges, and then we lost some territories. So here are the final standings. WG, they are the winning of this clan battle with 21 territories. We managed to hold the second place with 14 territories and 72% win ratio. Then on the third place there are 101st with 13 territories, so we were very close. I think we had luck because on one of the last chance to attack them, we attacked them and we took the territory from 101st. So yeah, we are second. And then we have some other clans: Weirdos, Blades, Turtles, Apex, Warlighters, Rebel, Ninja, Role Players Guild, and other clans without even one single territory. Okay, now, maybe now before we will move to the next subject, we want another game to be analyzed.
Well, we can do it with our ladder news, and I link to a game from the real-time ladder.
Okay.
It's really hard to pick from real-time ladder best game. I really don't know. I really couldn't even know which one would be the best.
No Mercy versus the Beelzebub.
Yeah, Beelzebub. Yeah, it's a very recent game. It's kind of instructive, and I mostly picked that just to give a shout out for this player, No Mercy, because more often than not, the others are dominated by the same people, and we play those people over and over again. And I was actually very positively surprised by No Mercy, a player which I haven't really played before. His previous name was Limitless, and it turns out that I played some team games with him a few years ago. I don't really recall any of them. However, he's doing extremely well on the real-time ladder, and here we have a very simple in essence game that will showcase just a very solid strategy from No Mercy. And a very interesting template, probably one of my favorite templates invented by Fizer. I'm not sure if it can be seen on the stream.
Yeah,
But
it's
also
already on the stream.
yeah, but I'm talking about the neutrals because I'm not sure that people can see that the neutrals are worth free. And
I zoom it in so they should see it
okay,
now.
yeah, and just looking at numbers speaks just very nice fifth pick. He doesn't really want a very aggressive counter because some people might pick number 5 in North Australia, for example.
I guess I
And,
would do something like this.
yeah, and No Mercy actually picked very nicely, very safe in Saudi Arabia. We picked number 6 in the Coral Coast, and he probably expects to get this 1, 2, and 5, or 1, 2, and 6, both of which would be acceptable. Probably 1, 2, and 5 would be best.
Okay, maybe just a few words, if you don't mind, about this map. I guess most of our viewers play this map, but for those who didn't, there are two places that in most cases, there are first turn bonuses. It's West Mongolia, East Mongolia, and Indonesia, Malaysia. So all the game usually is moving around those two places.
Yeah, and actually, as soon as you say that, I want to say that on this template, actually, it's completely not true most of the time. Because the neutrals are so big, they are not, of course, first turn bonuses right now. They cannot be.
But still, those are places that you can. Those are bonuses that you can get faster than others usually.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
But
two
still,
turn.
you can. Yeah, for example, Japan is quite a nice bonus because you can still take the same bonus in 2 turns. You have, of course, that nice synergy if you pick a cluster. However, depending on the position, sometimes it's even worth to take a big bonus that you can take in 3 turns, and that's very often the case with the Cook Islands, or Hawaiian Islands.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, it's not here. Comparison to pick of Belzebu, he actually went for a triple pick in the center with slower expansion and bigger neutrals. The strategies like that are actually viable. I actually lost a game to Newfound quite recently on Real Time Ladder, where he actually triple picked Coral Coast, which was a very interesting solution on the map. So we can see that Belzebu is picking very aggressively, trying to go for early income, and No Mercy is going for intel and a late game counter. And we can see that Belzebu, after getting his 1 to 3, that's another problem with getting your 1 to 3. He doesn't really know what to do.
Well, he can expect with high probability that No Mercy is in Mongolia.
Yeah, but the problem is that there are multiple ways he can be countered. He can be literally countered from east, south, and north. He cannot be countered from west, probably, as soon because of the way in India. However, we can just go quite quickly through the game because the expansion phase is pretty self-explanatory. You can see that his triple pick didn't even give him a faster expansion because we can see after turn 3, both of them have 11 income.
Mm-hmm.
And Belzebu actually isn't even close to finishing a bonus. And right now, turn 4, No Mercy actually has an income advantage, 14 to 11. If you triple pick something and you have an income disadvantage, something went wrong, in my opinion. So,
yeah, definitely. Turn 6, even worse situation. He didn't get Papao.
Yeah, and we can actually see what I said on turn 5, because on turn 5, Belzebu is actually checking North Australia. He's maybe afraid of Queensland, he's maybe afraid of New Zealand, he's maybe afraid of Coral Coast. In any case, it's not really that easy for him to find a good way to attack No Mercy's bonuses really hard, because every everything is going well. Of course, Beelzebub also has a bit of bad luck because he misses 5 versus 3 attacks. Again, a shout out this time to Twitter. Maybe please consider reducing luck to 0% because here he actually 5 versus 3 misses are actually very very bad. Sometimes when you are in very close proximity to your opponent, 5 versus 3 5 versus 3 attacks really are very crucial at any stage.
Yeah.
Where are we on the stream? Are we on
Turn
37?
9, No Mercy,
Oh,
build a great.
okay, so we are already on turn 9. So I wanted just to point out on turn 7 that No Mercy with his Intel advantage, he actually built a very big stack
Mm-hmm.
and he has comparable income. And turn 8, of course, he attacks with 40 troops. So, and Beelzebub smashes with his 16 troops, so he cannot do anything right now.
Yeah,
Turn 9, he
even though he
breaks
saved
into-
2 reinforcement cards for this situation, he wasn't able to hold the stack.
Yeah, so we can see a very it's a very simple strategy. There's really nothing to it. No Mercy. Here he played like a pro, and probably we'll be seeing more of him in the future, I believe.
Yeah.
Is
And
he number 3 on the ladder right now?
yeah, he's number 3 on real-time ladder, and he
Yeah.
he
He's getting
crashed
a
but
pretty quick run at yours. Your number 1 rating, I think.
Well, maybe not. We'll see about that.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, I'm surprised that he's in 101st, because 101st is used to be some kind of Lynx Academy, the place where you are looking for good players, and you are the Lynx. They're looking for good players in the 101st, and then they are moving them to Lynx. So I wonder if he will move there, or will he stay in 101st. And he's playing against the Fridge even at this very moment. I wonder who will win the game. Fridge, I'm counting on you because I just opened his account. I mean, No Mercy account to see what his ladder games. Okay. Actually, we are running out of time, and I would like to emphasize very interesting event that happened in last week. The AI challenge.
Oh yeah, definitely. We really have to say a few words about that.
Mm-hmm.
Were you both listening?
Sorry again?
Were you both listening to the stream?
I was even one of the commentators. PS was hosting the stream. Yeah. So maybe. Maybe let me say something about the challenge itself. How does it looks like? There is a thread on the forum about it, but first there was eliminations. Eliminations that were supposed to pick the best 30 players, as far as I remember, 30 or 20. Oh, it was 30. So the best 30 players were moved into the finals. Each player obviously created the AI, and the game was and the AI were playing against themselves on small Earth. Well, the settings were quite interesting because it was 2 warlords per bonus, random warlords. There was a 100% lag, so many players from Waligth didn't like it at all, because the lag sometimes played a really big factor. There was a lot of players from the Waligth that decided to create their own AI and put it into this competition. The site is called the AIgames.com. You can check this site, their standings, the ratings. I have the standings open right now. What's interesting, the top at least just this morning. The top bot wasn't from the Waligth player. It was a bot created by no Waligth player. Now I see it's Supreme Dalek by Norman. From Waligth, I mean the top from the top 10 bots, most was created by Waligth players. For example, the second place is held by Green Tea. We've got Perdito with his Perdito bot. We've got Trogatot. We've got Garrett. And there's one player that I really would like to commend for creating the bot. It's 125H209 from French community, because this guy, I don't know if you believe it or not, but this guy had no idea about coding. he decided to learn the code language. It was Java, just to be able to participate in this event. He even posted his code on the forum. Yeah, he said that you can now laugh of it. And the code was quite funny because it was just 3,000 lines of spaghetti code in one file, so it wasn't compiled in any way. It wasn't divided into separate files. Everything was just in one file. But
you must say that he was really motivated. Well, I'm quite sure that most Waligth players would be able to write some sort of pseudocode, but in order to make a bot actually work and make it not crash, that's another thing completely.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy, he was placed 10 with his Guts bot. He was even higher than PS. PS is actually he works as a programmer. He's a great Waligth player, and PS was placed only 11th. So yeah, that was a really nice job with this bot. I would like to maybe now I'd like to show.
That's the equivalent of trash talk in the IT sector, probably.
Yeah.
We got the guy that didn't program at all, and he wrote 3,000 lines of spaghetti code, and he plays over a guy that's actually a professional programmer.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of funny. And now the AI challenge is the final or semi-final phase. So it's double elimination ladder, ladder kind of tournament. The first round is almost finished. Supreme Dalek, who was placed first on general standings, won his first round. Maybe let me show how does the challenges were held, because it wasn't just a one game. Because since the luck could be a factor, each bot need to win 5 times against the other bot, and the one who won who had the 5th victory was announced as a winner. But
okay, do we have statistics? What were the ratios here, or do we only know who won in the end?
I will. Okay, maybe I'll just.
What was the margin if you went 5-0 or 5-1 or something like that?
Well, we've got each player or each 2 bots. We have all the matches. We can review the matches, a number of matches. So, for example, Supreme Dalek won against Trogabot 5-1. What I would like to show, maybe I would like to show one short game, so if someone didn't saw how it looks like, he can have a general idea about how the games were being played. Maybe I will show the game PS versus Web, I guess. This one was nice game. So the thing that I like in the games is that you can see. Okay, maybe I would like to pause first. You can see from perspective of both players, the blue and the red one in this case, and yeah, and basically there is obviously two bonuses that you want to have. It's North America,
I mean, South
South America, sorry, South America or Australia, of course, and there is a battle in the Africa in most cases, and the game that I'm actually playing now, well, we can see that those bots evolved if we compare it to the one that we know from Warlight. I'm very interested in if Fizer will actually choose some of the solutions that are being put here by those players. Now we could see, by the way, the lag modifier that had a...
Well, I don't think that Fizer will have the opportunity because bots here are actually hard coded for this exact map, and Warlight AI, despite being a very weak overall Warlight player, has a distinct advantage of being able to adapt to literally any map and any setting.
Yeah, this is advantage indeed. When we're talking about the hard-coded, we are talking about the bot that is being created to play this one exact map. Yeah, so that is a disadvantage. But some players, for example, Trogabot, some players created bot that is able to play on any map. For example, Trogabot is such a bot. But also Fizer said once that he's not interested in developing the AI, because then it could create a situations when the good players will boot the bad players just to replace them with AI, because the AI will be much better even than the players. So that
I don't think it will happen anytime soon.
well,
yeah, I really think that making a general Warlight AI would be a very, very hard thing to do.
yeah, definitely it will require just more than work of just one man. Yeah, and maybe what else I could say about the AI challenge? Well, next AI challenge will be the poker challenge. So if you like coding, you can try your skills there. But the next after this again will be probably something Warlight related thing. This time the lag will be 16%, maybe even bigger map. The creator of this the AI challenge page said that maybe he will even consider random maps. There is also another interesting feature that I would like to see in Warlight. What do you guys think? Do you think it could work, random maps?
Well, yeah, but definitely it's much, much harder to program any kind of bot for a random map. You would definitely have to, you can't really hard code anything, and yeah, I really wouldn't know where to start, to be honest, to make a really decent bot for a random map. Because here, I really knew what to do from the beginning, and of course, coding it is another thing. But strategy is quite self-explanatory here. Random map, it will be very, very hard.
Yeah, it will be very hard. I don't know, I don't remember who idea was it, but the idea was to help bot or make bot to give certain regions a value of importance, and depending on some factors like the placement of this region, the surrounding bonuses, the importance was increased by 1, for example, and then the bot was forced to get to this most important region and to hold it, and then of course get another bonus. So yeah, I think like this might work actually, and that would be the idea of creating the bot that is able to play on any map.
Yeah, but you know what? Well, that's of course how Warlight players think. They of course know which territories are more important, which bots are more important, etc. However, when it comes to bots, it's another thing. Actually, I think it was PS who was talking about the stream about his game where his bot completely crashed because he implemented something like that, and he completely destroyed his opponent with his bot, and at some point his bot completely crashed because I think he finished Asia, and then there was no value left for something. And I think on random maps there would be a billion of situations like that, because the importance of certain territories is based on many factors.
I see. Yeah, actually, the PS AI crashed because as from what I understood, he just told his AI to get the smallest bonus and go to the biggest one, the biggest one, the biggest one, because he
Yeah,
assumed that if he will get the Asia, then probably his enemy should be destroyed by then. And the bot got the Asia eventually, and then he actually didn't knew what to do because
Yeah.
he filled his last order and then he just crashed. That was funny.
Well, in any case, I would be interested more in maybe playing against a very good AI at some point. So probably after all those challenges are over, maybe at that point, maybe we could see how they fare against good warlike players.
Yeah, that would be very interesting, but still, I
Especially
think.
on the map.
Okay, maybe not random, but maybe yeah. Let it be even this medium Earth with even this 100% lag, and maybe even double random warlords. That would be even cooler because we won't have much experience on these fields, and bots will have certain advantage. But still, from what I saw, I think that medium warlike player should be able to defeat the bots without any greater problems.
Yeah, probably. That's also my assessment.
Okay, maybe medium level player could be equal to good bot, but
Depends
top player,
what exactly is a medium?
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
maybe if we'll compare it to ladder rating, is something like 1,700 to 2,000 points of ladder.
Yeah, I guess 2000 is average, so basically Impaler was an average player.
Yeah. Something like this.
Yeah, I guess yeah, I guess they should be able to beat him without much difficulty. Also, one more shout out we had on the Twitch chat. Actually, since we talked about No Mercy, actually he managed to create the exact same template in real-time ladder, so he's working his way up.
Okay, congratulations to you then. Well, I was hoping that Fridge would won after all, but he seems to be out of form recently. Or maybe he won again by boot. Fridge was booted like 3 times in a row.
No, he actually No Mercy won a very nice game.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Okay, well, actually, I think that those are all the subjects that we have prepared for today.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Unless we.
Do we have some announcements that you'd like to say?
Well, maybe people should vote on who would they like to see as a guest, because we were to have a guest last time, or this time it didn't really work out very well.
Yeah.
But maybe if we do it in advance, we'll do better. So maybe post on Twitch chat who would you like to see, and also give us some feedback on the forum thread.
Yeah, that would be nice. Also, remember, guys, to post your suggestions for games to cover. We will try. Maybe we'll try to pick one of those games next time.
Next time we're going to probably start with map analysis, because we didn't cover the new map by Apollo, but we ran out of time.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, guys. So I guess that's it. See you around. Thank you for watching us, and see you next week.
Yeah, it's Shoven Game signing out.
Bye.